Today, I'm going to be giving you 10 reasons why I believe everybody should try meditation, even if it's only for a week or two. In this video, I'm going to be specifically talking about mindfulness meditation, and keep in mind that mindfulness meditation has got nothing to do with religion. You don't have to believe in God, you don't have to believe in the power of the universe, you really don't have to believe in anything, and I really think that this will benefit you if you give it a chance. Personally, I've only been meditating for a few years, but the people who are closest to me will tell you that it has transformed me. It's transformed my attitude. Now, by no means am I perfect. I still get annoyed. I still get angry at things, but it has really improved my mindset. I hardly ever get angry compared to what I used to. And the reason that I actually started meditation was because I had some serious anger problems. And in the beginning, I used to listen to Sync Tuition because I was having problems sleeping. I was creating problems in my head. I was having arguments in my head with people that I haven't spoke to for years, and it was just getting to the point that it was too much. So I started listening to Sync Tuition, and I've actually got a review for that on this channel, which I'll link in the description box below. While I was listening to Sync Tuition, something happened where normally I would just snap, and I am not exaggerating when I tell you I was getting ready to literally kill this person. But they done something, and because I've been listening to Sync Tuition, it gives you like a little speech bit at the start, and the voice came into my head, and I was just like, right, breathe, calm, let the moment pass. And I had never experienced me calming down so fast in my life. And I just let the moment go, and I carried on with my day. I was in work, and I carried on with my work. And then when I got home, then I thought about it, and I thought I have never been able to just be calm like that before. After that happened, I realised there was other steps that I could take in my life to calm myself down. And while doing this, I've actually evolved more in other areas of my life as well. So that's when I started looking into meditation first of all, and then later on mindfulness. Now there's many different types of meditation, but today I'm going to be specifically talking about mindfulness, which is one of the hardest ones for me, honestly, because it's quite hard for me to just focus on one thing. So I meditate every single day, and I do like to try different types of meditation. And over the past few months, if I don't do a mindfulness meditation in the morning, I do take time to do some sort of mindfulness activity throughout my day. It's so easy to do. You don't have to sit still. You can try mindfulness activities while you're out doing things, while you're out eating. It doesn't have, it's not all about just sitting still and trying to clear your mind. And in fact, that's not even what it's about at all. So today I've put together a list of 10 reasons why I believe everybody should attempt to meditate, especially skeptics. And if you try this, even for a week, let me know in the comments what improvements you've seen, because I know for a fact that you're going to see improvements if you just give it a chance. Don't think that you don't have time to do it. You can do it in the bath. You can do it while you're sitting on the toilet instead of reading your phone. Literally, you don't have to do it for like an hour, half an hour. I would advise anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Personally, when I'm doing a mindfulness meditation, I'll go like set my alarm for 12 minutes, but properly try to get into it for 10. But if you feel as if you've not got 10 minutes, 5 minutes is totally fine. A couple of minutes is totally fine. Just to pay attention to the moment and to what's happening. Reason number one is remembering. If you're somebody who's quite forgetful, mindfulness meditation is going to absolutely transform your life, literally from day one. I'm the sort of person who I'll get ready, I'll go to work, and I'll think, oh my God, I forgot to take these tablets, I forgot to take these tablets, I forgot to put my lunch in my bag, I forgot to phone the doctors or whatever. And I just forget things all the time, or at least I used to forget things all the time. So when you're doing mindfulness meditation, it isn't actually about clearing your mind completely. It's about focusing on one thing. So you can close your eyes, you can keep them open. If you want to keep your eyes open, you can just concentrate on looking at one thing. If you've got your eyes closed, you can concentrate on a clock ticking, the sound of your breathing, the sound of the cars passing outside, or whatever. Try and concentrate on one thing. So while you're doing this, I don't know about you, but personally for me, when I try and concentrate on one thing, everything wants to come into my brain. I want to just remember everything. So if you're really bad at remembering things, I recommend trying this and put a notepad beside you. Even if you just want to set your alarm for 5 or 10 minutes. When you close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing, you're going to think, oh, I better remember and pack the Wayne's lunch. Oh, I better remember and put this in my bag. Or I better remember and pay this bill. And don't just stop, right? I mean, a lot of people will say, just let it pass. Personally, I would say when you're first starting, don't just let it pass. Open your eyes and write down what you have to do. Then it can go out your mind. You know that you've wrote it down and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to sit there and think, oh, I need to keep remembering to do that or I'll forget. Just take a second, open your eyes and write it down. Now, I've got to the point now where I had to write down so many times, remember and take your tablets, remember and do this, remember and do this, that now when I go to meditate, when I sit down to meditate, everything comes to me at once and I go and take my tablets and do all the things that I need to do. Then I come back to meditate again and I very rarely forget to do any of these things now. I don't ever have to write anything down. Reason number two is that mindfulness can actually make your workday go in faster. I used to get ready for work and be like, oh, I can't be bothered going to work today. I'd go in, oh, I wonder what I'm doing today. Oh, I can't be bothered doing this. Moan, 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 moan. And then I would go in, and the first half of my day is sometimes different, the second half's normally the same. So it was just like, I just wanted it to be over, right? Honestly, I just couldn't wait to go home. But since practicing mindfulness, I do it in work as well. Like when I'm in work, I don't just automatically do everything. I get to certain points and I think, right, pay attention to what's going on, actually think about what you're doing, and it keeps your mind active, and therefore that makes your day go in faster. Like how many times have you went to work and you've been doing the same thing, or you've been driving and you go into autopilot? And it really makes your day drag in more. You think that when you're trying to block it out, you're trying to block out that you're at work, you're trying to make plans for tonight or tomorrow, you think that your day's got to go in faster. But actually, when you pay attention to what you're doing, it makes your day go in quicker and it just makes me a lot happier, honestly. I now don't feel as if I'm at work 5 times longer than what I'm actually there. Reason number three is a bit of a strange one, but mindfulness allows you to live in the moment. As I mentioned, I used to go into work and try and block out the day, block out what I was doing, and just think, oh, I can't wait to be home tonight. What am I going to have for dinner? I can't wait to be off tomorrow. The blah, blah, blah. And I just would try and rush through the day. But there's so many times now where if I'm trying to be mindful and I'm actually paying attention to what I'm doing, I'm paying more attention when people are speaking to me. I'm paying more attention to the actual job that I'm doing. You start to notice a lot more things and it really makes your day a lot happier. Now, don't get me wrong, I am still totally guilty of doing this, like the week before my week off, or sometimes on a Saturday when I know I'm going to have 2 days off and I've got plans. And I go into work and I try and be mindful, and I know that if I'm being mindful, the day's going to go in faster. But you know what it's like on the week before your week off, it just feels like it's dragging in, you know? So it doesn't help me all the time, but I do my best when I can. One really important reason that I think that people should try meditating is because it helps you sleep. It's as simple as that. I used to lie in bed for hours, hours, right? You're talking, I could try and get to sleep at like 10 o'clock at night and I would still be awake at 3 or 4 in the morning because every time I closed my eyes, I would start to have arguments with people in my head. I would start to visualize arguing with people or just like nasty. It was just angry and nasty all the time and it stopped me from sleeping. And then when I did finally get to sleep, I was having dreams. I was dreaming about training and work. I was dreaming about going to places that I didn't want to be, or I was just having dreams that would just annoy me. Then when I would wake up, I would be even more annoyed. But now with mindfulness, and actually particularly at the start, honestly, with sanctuation, it helped me just clear my mind before I went to sleep and let go of any anger or anything that I had in my mind, so it wasn't playing on my mind while I was sleeping. Reason number six is being calm and more understanding. Now, by no means am I the sort of person who's normally like forgive and forget. If somebody does something to me, I want vengeance and I want it times a million. However, when it comes to work people, I used to get customers would come in and they would maybe shout at me or they would moan at me for something that was their fault. Right, let's be honest, that's what the public's like. And then when they left and they went home, I would think, I wish I could have said this to that person. I wish I could have said that. If she spoke to me like that outside, I'd knock her out or whatever. But it was a book that I had listened to quite a while ago. I think it might have been Frederick Dodson. And he was talking about just letting go. Like whatever's happened in the moment, you can just let it go. And he said that once that person leaves, once that person walks away, they're away home, they're having dinner with their family, they're not thinking about you. They'll maybe be annoyed for like 2 minutes and then they're gone and that's that, and you're out of their mind. Meanwhile, you're playing over this argument in your head, saying, I wish I could have said this, I wish I could have said that, but you couldn't say it. So what's the point in going over it and over it and over it in your mind? Nothing is going to change what's already happened. So now I feel like if I'm ever in a situation with a customer or a member of the public or just a person in general, if I'm out and somebody tries to start an argument with me, it's easier for me to just either let them think that they're right, or it's easier for me to just let it go. And then when they leave, it doesn't matter anymore. And it's so freeing. It's so freeing to not even let that person take up any more space in my brain. It would actually surprise you. And not only that, once you start to do this and once you start to let go of the anger, it actually starts happening a lot less, because the more you replay something in your mind, the more you're bringing it to you. Now, I'm not going to talk about manifesting or anything in this video, as it's just about mindfulness and I don't want to put anybody off. But I find that the more you think about something, the more you talk about something bad, the more it actually happens. And in this case, I think that mindfulness really allows you to just let go of the situation and just be calm. Number seven is reasoning and letting go. I've found that since trying to practice mindfulness, I've been able to think about something more reasonably instead of just snapping. Like in the past, something would have happened, like some inconvenient, some mild thing, and I would go mental. Like I am a fan of a strongly worded email, as my niece will know. And the slightest thing would happen, and I'd be on there, I'd be writing a 12-page email. Somebody would be getting sacked. Do you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't let something go until that person's whole life was over and literally they went home and just killed herself. Right, that's how bad it was. But now in the moment, I kind of just either something just doesn't annoy me that much and I just let it go, or I try and think it through that person's perspective and then I let it go. Now, admittedly, there is people in my life who are really close to me who have said, why are you not freaking out over that? Why are you not going off your head over that? Like, that is something that you would normally go crazy over, and you need to go home and you need to complain about this and that, right? And in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking, aye, okay, aye, it was bad. But was it that bad? I mean, does a person really need to be sacked? Do you know what I mean? Do I really need to destroy their entire life over something that doesn't really matter that much? And I must say that some of the people who are closest to me do get annoyed that I don't overreact to every single thing. Well, they get annoyed that I don't overreact to some things that they think I should overreact to. But sometimes I just don't have it in me. Sometimes I just don't care about that person enough to go off my head at them and try and get them sacked and try and destroy their whole life. Because I now think to myself, you just don't matter to me, you know? And I know that sometimes people say, oh, being mindful gives you empathy and all that. It's not even about empathy, it's just about you're not worth my time and you're not worth me to get angry over. And I know that that sounds bad, but some people are just not worth your time at all. Reason number eight is you start to control your mind and it doesn't control you. There's nothing worse when you're sitting trying to do something and you've got something on your mind and you can't concentrate. Now, there's times where if I get really angry or if I get really agitated and annoyed, I physically can't function. Like, there's one particular person who, if we've been in an argument or if we've not spoke or if I think that we fell out or whatever, my brain doesn't work, right? This is still now, even through mindfulness and everything, my brain doesn't work. Like, I will be arguing maybe over text, and if I get so angry over it, I'll look at my phone and I physically forget how to send a message. I'll forget what the WhatsApp symbol looks like. I'll forget how to send an email. I forget how to lock my phone. Like, that's how angry my brain gets. Like, it's uncontrollable. Now, with mindfulness, this happens a lot less, right? There is certain people and certain things that even I can't control myself. But in day-to-day life, when I'm starting to go to sleep and I start to get a notice I'm having an argument with somebody that I spoke to 10 years ago, and I think, right, just breathe. Like, just concentrate on your heartbeat, concentrate on the light, concentrate on one thing, and hone in your emotions, you know? Obviously, I've still got some anger issues, but it's so much less. It's so much less, and it's so much better. There's so many things now that happens, and I react to it. Just in the moment, I react, and then later on, I think, oh my God, like if that had just happened 2 years ago, that outcome would have been totally different. I would have went crazy. That there would have been fights, like somebody's life would have been over, and it wouldn't have been mine. But now I can just let so many things pass. Don't get me wrong, there's some people out there who still push my buttons, but we're not thinking about them at this time. I'm trying to be mindful. Reason number 9 is noticing a difference. Now, I don't care who you are, right? I don't care how skeptical you are. I don't care how stupid you think this is. If you try this for 5 minutes every day for a week, you're going to notice a difference. And when you notice a difference, you're going to say, maybe I'll put it up to 6 minutes. Maybe I'll put it up to 7 minutes. Maybe I'll put it up to 10 minutes and do it every second day. Now, it doesn't matter what the change is. Maybe it's that you sit down and you remember to take your tablets every day, or you've remembered to pack lunches every day, or you've remembered to do something every day that you normally forget. You're going to notice that change. Maybe you're going to notice that you notice more things around you. Maybe you're going to notice that your day and work's went in faster. Maybe you're going to notice that you're appreciating the things and people around you more. There's going to be a change. And I can say that for 100% fact. Like, there's a lot of people who teach meditation and they say, oh, everybody's different, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, right, if you take 5 minutes of your day, every day for a week, you're going to notice a difference. And that is it. Anybody who says they don't hasn't done it. Reason number 10 I've left to last because there's going to be so many skeptics out there rolling their eyes like, here we go. But I'm telling you right now, I didn't get into meditation or mindfulness meditation or anything like that to heighten my intuition. But reason number 10 is it heightens your intuition. We've all had moments in our life where we've went to the shop for snacks and we've all came back to the house and everybody's bought the same snacks. We've all had moments where we've said the same thing as a friend at the same time. We've all had moments where something's happened with a friend and it's as if we've read their mind. Now, this used to happen to me quite a lot with one friend in particular, and it would happen and we would be like, oh my God, like, how did that happen? Like, things that could just not possibly happen. Like, knowing the answers to a question that, like, one of my friends had asked me a question in a game and it was like the name of a villain in a cartoon that I had never seen, never heard of, and I came out with the name, a name that I wouldn't have even have been able to guess, right? And still to this day we can't believe that this has happened. Obviously this is why I'm bringing it up, but absolutely, like, we've all had moments like that. But recently my intuition is going through the roof. Just as an example of this, I came home a few days ago. There was nobody in the house, and it was like 9:30 at night, right? So I was like, oh, they're at the hospital. And I was like, why would they be at the hospital at 9:30 at night? Nobody's told me that, right? So I carried on making my dinner and all that. And I checked the calendar and I was like, where is everybody? And I was like, oh, that's right, they're at the hospital. And then I'm like, nobody's told me this. Why am I thinking that, right? But I wasn't worried, like, as if something had happened. I just kept on thinking, oh, they're at the hospital. So then this carried on for like an hour. And then my mum phoned me and says that they were at the hospital and told me what had happened. And I was like, how did I know that? Like, how did I? There is literally no way that I could have known that. And then, literally, like, the next day, I had been talking to somebody and I says, oh, when does such and such get back from Tenerife? It's somebody that I don't even speak to, right? Somebody that I don't text, don't call, nothing. I just know of them. And I had says, when they're getting back from Tenerife, and they're like, oh, I didn't know they were going. And I says, oh, must be somebody else. Like, must have been in a conversation with somebody else, and they were talking about going. And then their phone went, and the person was on the phone saying that they were going to Tenerife, and I was like, I swear to God, the two of us were sitting, like, looking at each other like, what the hell just happened? Now, that's just some examples, right? But there's so many other things that's happened that I've noticed that my intuition is it's actually going through the roof. It's insane. So that is my 10 reasons why I believe everybody should try meditation at least for a week or 2 weeks. If the week or 2 weeks passes and you don't see any difference, then I don't know what to tell you. But now I'm going to give you some quick examples of what a mindfulness meditation might look like. Then you can sit on a chair with your feet on the ground. You can close your eyes, you can have them open. It doesn't matter, there's no rules, okay? The point is to pay attention to one thing only. So say you're sitting in whatever comfortable position you're in. I try not to lie down because I fall asleep. But you sit in a comfortable position and you can just focus on your breathing. You can think in, out if you want, or you can just focus on the feeling of the breath. Now, during that time, my mind will wander off. I'll be thinking, what am I going to have for my dinner tonight? What time do I start work? Did I set my alarm for 12 minutes? I feel as if I've been sitting here for half an hour and I'm going to be late. Oh, no, I was thinking about something else, and start thinking about breathing again. The amount of times in 10 minutes that my mind will wander is insane, but just keep at it. One of the reasons I set my alarm for 12 minutes is because I do a little bit of gratitude at the start. Nobody else has to do this. This is just something I prefer. I do like 2 minutes of like gratitude or just other kinds of meditation, and then I try and focus on mindfulness for 10 minutes. And I'm telling you right now that even to me, 10 minutes can seem like it's never going to end. Like I've set my alarm for 12 minutes, and normally coming up till the end, I'll start to think, oh, did I set my alarm? How long have I been sitting here? I've been sitting here forever. So this is why I kind of recommend that when you first start, you just do it for 5 minutes, because I think that 10 minutes for some people can be a lot, and you're just going to be sitting there thinking, why am I doing this? What is the point in this? Like, am I wasting 10 minutes of my time when I could be doing something productive? But really, I think that there's nothing more productive than that you can do rather than just sit here and try this for 5 minutes of your day, even if you set your alarm for 7 minutes. Now, if you're on a walk, say, and you're doing the same walk as you do all the time, and it's a mindless action, right? You're trying to avoid being mindless, and you're trying to avoid just letting the day pass without you paying any attention. Then you can be walking, and even if it's just like concentrating on your steps, like left, right, or looking into the distance, as long as you're not driving, right? Looking into the distance and focusing on a building or a tree in the distance, and as you're walking towards it, pay attention to it coming closer. Or you can be even walking and you can be paying attention to your breathing. You can be paying attention to like your heart or whatever. Now, if you have got your eyes closed or open and you're focusing on your heart, right? And then your mind wanders off and you start to think about work or the rains or what you're going to wear at the weekend or whatever. And then you go, oh no, right, come back, right? Then you start to concentrate on your breath. That's okay. You don't have to go back to concentrating on your heart. If your attention's now with your breath, you can concentrate on your breath. And another thing is, if you've set your alarm for 5 minutes and you feel like 4 minutes of that time your mind was wandering and you only managed to get 1 minute of focusing, you don't have to reset your alarm and try and make up the 4 minutes. Just go with it. And then tomorrow when you try it again, maybe you'll get a minute and a half. Then when you try it the next day, maybe you'll get 2 minutes. The point is to try your best. Nobody's perfect. Even people who have been meditating for years and years and years, their minds wander. You know what I mean? Like that you're programmed to think about things. You're not programmed to think about one specific thing and not try and plan ahead or think about the past or whatever. So I really think everybody, particularly skeptics, should try this. Just set aside 5 minutes of your day. I recommend that if you want to do 5 minutes though, that you set your alarm for 6 minutes. Because to me, you need that extra minute or two to just like get into what's actually happening. Do you know what I mean? Like what you're going to be concentrating on. Focus on the sounds around you that you can like listen to. When you first sit down in your room, maybe you're going to hear the traffic outside, so you think, right, I'll focus on the traffic outside. But then once you close your eyes, you start to notice that you can hear your heart beating, and that's fine. You can focus on that, or maybe you can hear like me. For me, sometimes I can hear the extractor fan in the bathroom. Now, when I'm sitting trying to do stuff, and if I notice that sound, that will drive me insane. But when I've got my eyes closed and I'm trying to focus on something, that's the perfect sound to try and focus in on. So let me know in the comments what you think, if you've tried any sort of meditations before, if you've tried any sort of mindfulness meditation. You can even try this if you want to try and get to sleep. If you like the ticking of a clock, which I don't, it drives me absolutely mental. But if you're lying in bed and maybe you can hear your watch tick or a clock tick or whatever, and your mind is overloaded with things from work or like from the day or the week, just try and concentrate on that one thing and just try and let go of all the stresses that you're feeling, because we all feel stress more. I think like when you're trying to get to sleep, it's all just coming into your brain and trying to take over your entire existence. So give this a try, please give this a try. It doesn't matter if you think I sound insane or not. Give it a try. And actually, if you do give it a try for a week and you do 5 minutes a day, and then you still think I'm insane, that's fine. Come back and just let me know in the comments that you think I'm crazy. That's totally fine with me. But if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Bye.